Keyboards, mouses, headsets, RAM, liquid coolers, cases, mousepads, SSDs, M.2s, power supplies, speakers, and even gaming chairs. Corsair sells them all, but they were established just 25 years ago, so how did they grow from being a small startup to being an unforgettable name in the gaming industry coming right up? Welcome to Hari's Hobbies. I don't want to bore you guys with a bunch of facts and dates, so here is just a quick overview of their roots. Corsair was originally incorporated in California in January of 1994, so just about 25 years ago. The company was founded as Corsair Microsystems by Andy Paul, Don Lieberman, and John Beakley. Corsair started off by developing L2 cache modules or cache on a stick coast modules. But soon after, Intel incorporated L2 cache into their own CPUs with the launch of the Pentium Pro family. As a result, there was no more reason for Corsair to linger in this arena, so they quickly shifted focus onto the DRAM market, mainly in the server area. In 2002, Corsair began shipping DRAM modules which appealed to computer enthusiasts who want to overclock their RAM. Since then, Corsair has continued to produce memory modules for PCs and added other PC components to their lineup as well. Corsair has since added a variety of high-end peripherals, high-performance air and water cooling solutions, and other enthusiast-grade components as well. Hopefully, that quick history lesson wasn't too boring. So how did Corsair go to the top of so many different markets when there were so many competitors there as well? For example, Cooler Master and Thermaltake in the PC case market, and later NZXT, G-Skill in the DRAM market, and of course their biggest competitors Logitech and Razer in the peripheral market, especially considering that peripherals are a newer endeavor for Corsair. The key to their success in the peripheral market is their marketing team and the demographic that they initially targeted. According to Greg Agius, who is the marketing director at Corsair, Corsair targeted PC gamers who had pre-built PCs, or the casual gamer who is actually what make up most of the gaming market anyways. As a result, while Razer was targeting enthusiast gamers by advertising to them and sponsoring esports events, Corsair was appealing to the average guy who just wanted to play better against their buddies. And this was perfect because not only was this market worth over $1 billion, but Razer wasn't really targeting this demographic at this time. Razer's slogan is literally built by gamers for gamers. This is clearly targeted towards the enthusiast gaming market. Now, this isn't to say that they are not successful because they are one of the top sellers in the peripheral market. It's just that their revenue comes from a different place. One of the other key methods that Corsair used to reach the casual gamer was their social media presence. Corsair had a huge focus on increasing impressions and activity online, and as a result, they built a social media team whose whole full-time job was to engage with the community on various sites like Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So this is how Corsair initially stepped into the gaming peripheral market by targeting casual gamers and growing a large social media presence. But that was just the beginning. And Corsair wasn't just going to ignore the enthusiast gaming community either. And by looking at Razer and SteelSeries and their more gaming oriented logos, Corsair thought that they should make their own gaming oriented logo as well. Corsair believed that it was important for them to rebrand themselves to be more gamery in order to appeal to the enthusiast gaming market. And as a result, they came up with a new logo which was two swords crossed together, but this was not received well by their loyal fanbase. While the logo wasn't bad by any means, it just didn't feel right and like a Corsair product anymore. And as a result, there was a lot of backlash, and soon after, Corsair moved to a new logo that was very similar to the original logo, the sails. This was an eye-opener for Corsair. They realized that they did not have to try to emulate other companies and that they already had a great fan base and just had to be themselves. After that initial small step back, Corsair started to work on building an enthusiast fan base once again. While they also sponsored esports events and gamers, their main focus was definitely on influencers. Corsair reached out to big tech YouTubers around the world and also attended PAX and BlizzCon for the very first time. Corsair didn't have a huge marketing budget, so this was the perfect move for them, giving out free units to big YouTubers which would introduce their products to millions and millions of people along with their own social communities. Furthermore, in their own social media communities, they were never sales driven. They simply wanted to be a positive community member, and this is essentially what won over the hearts and minds of many gamers. Now that they had become a big reputable company, it was time for them to launch products oriented towards enthusiast gamers. Their first product like this was of course the K70 Rapid Fire, which was launched at PAX East. They also created a lot of enthusiasm using their social media accounts, which got them a lot of great sales out the gate. They slowly perfected this strategy and developed it into a strong launch strategy. Their social media presence was crucial in spreading their name and building a large loyal fan base. It is one thing to launch one successful product, but it is completely different to continuously launch successful products in different segments of peripherals. And according to Corsair, the core reason to their success in all of these different regions is their high focus on PC gaming. Corsair isn't trying to sell high-quality studio headphones or keyboards for offices. They simply want to make great gaming products for the gaming market, and this laser beam focus has really proven successful for them. Their outstanding choice of materials and awesome support have just helped them solidify this position in the peripheral market. But what about other markets? How did Corsair succeed there as well, like the case, power supply, DRAM, and of course, liquid cooling market? Well, if you guys didn't already know, Corsair was actually the company that invented the all-in-one liquid cooler category, and that is why they are so dominant in the 120, 240, 280, and 360mm liquid coolers. NZXT is starting to catch up with their stellar Kraken series, but Corsair is continuing to launch great liquid coolers, and they seem to have a great grasp on the market. Moving on into the case market, how did Corsair make a name for themselves here as well? Well, actually, up until just a couple of years ago, Corsair wasn't nearly as popular in this segment. So, what was the sudden change that happened in the last couple of years? Well, Corsair saw a huge trend in RGB and tempered glass and accentuated on this growth. One of their most iconic cases of all time, no doubt, is the Corsair Crystal 570X, which has tempered glass on 4 sides and 3 pre-installed RGB fans right in the front. This case was targeted at the premium market with a price of over $150, but with the recent obsession over RGB and tempered glass, this proved very fruitful. It was so successful that they even launched the Corsair Slate, which is pretty much just a beefed up version of the Corsair 570X, but for $400. Other companies have done just this as well. For example, NZXT's classic minimalist S340 and Thermaltech's all-tempered glass cases are very iconic in the PC market and have come to define these companies as well in the case market. At this point, we can see a trend with Corsair. They are very keen on what the market is looking for and capitalize on just that. As for DRAM, Corsair started off by producing DRAM, so it is no wonder that they are successful in this segment as well. Their implementation of RGB and a variety of different RAM sticks has really helped them appeal to almost every demographic there is. However, while they are successful here, they are by no means dominant. In this realm, G-Skill is definitely their biggest competitor, and the G-Skill Trident Z RGB and the Corsair Vengeance RGB are very big rivals. Corsair and G-Skill are very close to each other. When one company implements RGB to take advantage of the market, the other one does as well. And at the end, neither Corsair or G-Skill have really come out victorious in the DRAM market, but that isn't to say that Corsair is very popular in the DRAM market. And finally, power supplies, and this is where the power of the Corsair fan base really shines through. Corsair isn't a pioneer in this market like in the AIO market or in the DRAM market. They haven't really made any iconic power supplies or emphasized on any trends either. They simply make good quality power supplies which are priced the same as their competitors, but what separates them from their competitors is their high loyal fan base. This loyalty, along with one key reason, has allowed Corsair to sell a lot more power supplies than their competitors. So what is this one key reason that they are successful in the power supply arena? And this one key reason doesn't just apply to the power supply market. This is actually one of the main reasons that Corsair is successful as a whole, and this key reason is cohesiveness. And that brings me into my final point, cohesiveness. Corsair sells everything that a gamer will need. When a person has a Corsair keyboard, it is highly likely they will also buy a Corsair mouse, mousepad, and headset. It is unlikely they will switch brands for other peripherals. And when they're looking to build a new PC, it is easy for them to buy a new Corsair case with Corsair RAM, Corsair liquid cooling, Corsair power supply, Corsair fans, Corsair everything. When a person has a good experience with a Corsair product, it is highly likely they will buy other Corsair products because of the cohesiveness of all the products, which is emphasized by the Q software. You don't have to deal with the hassle of having different softwares for each of your peripherals, and you can control it with just one, the Q software. Furthermore, when a consumer has a positive experience with one of Corsair's products, next time that they are buying a new product, it's likely they prefer a Corsair product because they expect to have a positive experience once again, even if another product gives them more features and options. And this is how Corsair really shines, even though they're not the best in any one category. There are plenty of headsets from SteelSeries and Bose which produce much better sound quality. There are plenty of mouses from Razer that perform better than the M65 and other popular Corsair mouses. And there are plenty of RAM kits that are less expensive than Corsair's RGB ones. But that is all irrelevant because even though they're not the best in one category, all of their products are of high quality and come with great customer support. As a result, even though they're not the master of any one segment, they're a jack of all trades, and that has made them wildly successful. And I would say this is the key to their success, and this has worked time and time again for many different companies in a variety of segments. For example, Asus with their motherboards, GPUs, cases, headsets, keyboards, mouses, monitors, and laptops, along with the powerful Republic of Gamers branding, has built an audience that want everything to be from Asus. Another great example, while not as prevalent right now, is Sony. Sony Blu-ray players, TVs, sound systems, consoles, video cameras, and laptops. People love to repeatedly buy things from one company if the first product that they bought from that company proves to be very pleasing. And in the PC gaming market, Corsair's products are the most cohesive products there are, and this cohesiveness is the key reason for Corsair's outstanding success. So here's exactly how Corsair grew to the top of the gaming market in just 25 years. They were the pioneers to DRAM and all-in-one coolers. They approached the peripheral market using a unique strategy at the time. They launched some iconic products and built a strong base of loyal fans through their social media. And most importantly, they actually listened to what their customers wanted and actually made change based on that. This outstanding support along with the cohesiveness of all their products have allowed them to thrive in the PC market and made them a go-to option for many gamers. And this is how they grew to be the Corsair we all know and love today. So, what company would you like me to cover next? Make sure to comment that down below. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video and thought it was helpful, then make sure to drop a like and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more videos just like this one. But until then, I'm Hari, and I'll see you guys on the next one.